Welcome to the Starborne Awakening Library. I'm Ella. Tonight's story is The Heart's Garden. At the edge of a quiet village stood a garden unlike any other. It had no grand entrance, no famous flowers, no signs inviting visitors inside. Yet somehow people found their way there. Some arrived carrying joy, others arrived carrying sorrow. Many came simply because they had forgotten how to feel at home within themselves. The gardener welcomed them all with the same gentle smile. One afternoon, a young woman arrived looking discouraged. She gazed around the garden and sighed. "I wish my life looked like this." The gardener set down his watering can. "What do you see?" She looked around. "I see peace. I see beauty. I see everything growing exactly as it should." The gardener smiled. "You are seeing today. You are not seeing yesterday." Curious, she followed him to a quiet corner of the garden. There, hidden behind climbing roses, lay a small pile of broken branches, wilted flowers, old weeds, leaves that had fallen long ago. She looked surprised. "You keep these?" "For a little while." The gardener picked up a handful of dry leaves. "These once gave shade." He held up a faded blossom. "This once filled the air with fragrance." Then he pointed toward rich, dark soil beneath their feet. "And now they nourish everything still growing." The young woman looked across the garden again. She realized something she had missed before. Nothing here had been wasted. The blossoms had become seeds. The seeds had become flowers. The flowers had become compost. The compost had become life again. The garden was beautiful, not because nothing had ended, but because everything belonged. They walked slowly beneath an old pear tree. The gardener asked, "If your heart were a garden, what have you been trying to throw away?" The question settled quietly between them. After a long silence, she answered, "My mistakes, my regrets, the years I feel I lost, my sadness." The gardener nodded gently. "Those are not weeds. They are yesterday's leaves. They may no longer belong on the branch, but they still have something to give." He knelt beside a tiny seedling pushing through the earth. "This little plant is growing because of countless things that came before it. Rain, sunlight, storms, autumn leaves, even the flowers that are no longer here." He looked up. "Growth rarely happens despite our past. More often, it grows through it." As the seasons passed, the young woman returned often. She learned that tending a garden was less about controlling life and more about caring for it. Some mornings she watered, some afternoons she pruned, some evenings she simply sat quietly among the trees. She stopped asking why every flower bloomed at a different time. She began appreciating that each one did, slowly, without noticing exactly when. The garden outside began to resemble the garden within. Years later, visitors sometimes asked her the same question she had once asked the old gardener. "How did your garden become so beautiful?" She smiled. "I stopped trying to grow only flowers. I learned to care for the whole garden." Perhaps our hearts are much the same. We often celebrate our strengths while hiding our fears. We proudly display our blossoms while quietly wishing our fallen leaves had never existed. Yet nature teaches something wiser. Nothing living blooms forever. Nothing living remains unchanged. Every season contributes. Every ending nourishes another beginning. Every act of forgiveness loosens the soil. Every kindness plants another seed. Every moment of gratitude becomes sunlight. Perhaps becoming whole has never meant creating a perfect garden. Perhaps it has always meant lovingly tending the one we already have, because the heart does not ask us to become someone else. Thank you for tuning in to our channel. Until next time, be gentle with your heart